can't get started yet, though, can we? Hopefully no one's on the phone out here. I told her beforehand to get off the phone. All right, on-time drawing. Real quick. We have some goodies. Sent to you, just me. Number 4, Mila. Where's
Oh
she?
my God.
All right, what we have here, we have folders, black, gold, white. We have shirts, so if it's not the color you like or the size you like, let us know, because we have others that you could choose from. And there's a lot of other good stuff in there. So,
Thank you.
congratulations, Mila always wins.
They're like guitar and I need to rub you more.
All right. Make sure that you check in on Facebook. Make sure you take pictures throughout, and of your favorite brokers. You can, hey, here, right here, stand up. Stand up. Take pictures. Come on, get your camera out. Your 2 favorite brokers, right?
Folks, I am no longer a broker, just FYI.
But you were.
You hang the home back.
I'm a broker salesperson, okay?
All right.
Yeah, you gotta stop
Next
doubting
up,
that, huh, folks?
we have Roy out of our Summerlin office talking about something very serious. So come on up. Welcome. He's got to get to the news van at the Summerlin office. So would you want to different one up?
Yes, no, that's good. So, I'm excited. Good morning, everyone. My name is Roy. I'm with the Summerlin office. I grew up in Israel and I have a lot of family still there. That everyone's life was affected. Not sure what you all know, what you all heard, but it's more serious than what they can show us. It's a lot more serious than what they can show us. Long story short, we did that before with Ukraine. It was a huge success, and the videos we got of the kids so happy, it made me, the only thing was how we do it here. So we started with Las Vegas. Hopefully when we're gonna get done with Vegas, I'm gonna do it all over the States. I've collected, there's not enough from Realty One Group. I gotta be honest with you guys, there's not nearly enough from Realty One Group. Everything that you see in our offices is, I don't see anything here, but stuff that I brought from the Jewish community. I have a good friend from Nelly's Auctions that donated 2,000 toys. But again, it's not enough. We're nearly at 3,000 right now, boxes. But again, this is not even one small, tiny community for 3,000 kids. I want to say all the bad things that happened, but I'm not gonna do it to you. I want you to have a good day, so I'm just gonna get to it. So what we need to do, thank you, is find a shoebox and just, you can go do it with the kids or by yourself. Just fill it with toys. You can have, you can put some maybe baby clothes. It can be, we need everything. They took the people out with nothing on them. Their house was burnt, and they left everything behind, so they have nothing. So I'm focusing right now on the kids. I do have the IDF as well, but this is something else. So we're gonna fill it with toys. Again, it's really, really important to have no food items, no battery operated. Those make us problem with the custom, and nothing with sound. I don't know if you know, but we need to sit in shelter rooms. They're by, I want to say like 7 by 7 for months and months and months, and they gotta be quiet. Because when they weren't quiet, terrorists went in their home and the rest. So what we need to do is label what's inside. Let's say we have 2 Dr. Brown's bottles and 1, I don't know, whatever it is, stuffed animal, for them to see what's going on. And you can say it's for a toddler boy or a baby girl or something like that, for us to kind of make it quicker in Israel. I have 2 people donated their private jet to my project, one in Miami and one in LA. And this is our 4 offices. There's a lot more drop-off locations. If you need, you can text me. And but I want to tell you something. I'm not going to tell you all the horror stories because again, I still, I want you to have a great day. I couldn't speak for 4 days. My wife thought something happened to me. But I'm going to tell you one short story. In my wife's family, there's a lot of, there's many pairs of twins. And I can never have twins because my wife is a twin. Her second cousin, she lives right on the Gaza envelope in a called Gaza. It's like you can see the border. Like you can put if you want, your gun and shoot at the front door. That close. It's like meters away. And her second cousin lived there with her husband. And when things started happening, they went into the small shelter room and they were there for 14 hours. Terrorists walking in their homes. And after 14 hours, that the babies were sitting quiet, she thought, calm down. Because you have no reception in those rooms. You cannot like go on the news and see if you're safe to go. After 14 hours, she tried to go to make their bottle. She got shot and dead. Her husband heard what happened. He went all the way and he stand on the door for him to protect the 10-month-old babies. And he got shot. And all their neighbors. And after 28 hours, the IDF, they were able to go inside their home and rescue the 10-month-old twins, which they're orphans right now. This is them. Thank you.
Bottom line,
Anything else, please?
It's not political. This is about the kids. So let's get these boxes and collect the boxes, and it's for the kids. Question?
No, not really a question, but we did this before, and I will be honest with you, I mean, I probably collected thousands of boxes, and that's not an exaggeration. For our Summerlin office, reach out to your teachers, reach out to the schools, reach out to your local church things. I picked up from like second grade classes, children who made these boxes as if they were making it for themselves. Wow. They drew pictures to these children. They wrote them sweet letters and poems and stuff like that. So, especially this time of year, I drove all the way, there's Facebook posts. I drove all the way to Henderson and had my car filled to the brim, like barely
I
at that room.
have 45 people volunteering. Don't even deal with that. Just collect them, or again, talk to schools and churches and all the great ideas the charity just had. And I'll have guys with you all. They're gonna go and pick it up. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, they just loved it, and it on, like, they feel like they see what's going on in the news, and this was an outlet for them as well. So please reach out to your communities, because as much as those children are hurting, our children hurt as well. Just seeing, and they don't understand what's going on. So it gives them some peace, and then it brings those children joy to have something made by someone that is in their age. So.
What about like diapers and clothes, like little snuff? Yeah.
They need everything.
Yeah, I figured. I just make sure.
Thank you guys so much.
All right, thanks, Roy.
Roy, do you have a flyer?
It'll be in the newsletter.
Okay.
And also, I send it to you. This is the same exact flyer. What is?
Yep.
Sure.
All right. Sorry to start off on a little bit of a somber note, but let's get behind these kids. It's all about the kids. With that being said, we have my friend Jennifer here, and she is a business broker in town. She gave you guys some flyers. So tell us a little bit about what you do, Jennifer.
Okay.
Come on.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
So, yeah, I'm gonna leave, but anyone needs, I'm gonna leave right here. So, thank you, Mark, for having me in. For those who don't know me, my name is Jennifer Weinberg. Actually president-elect of the NCALB.
Nice. Congratulations.
Thanks. So, I'm actually over at Berkshire Hathaway. A lot of you guys know me. I've been in the business almost 24 years. I started out actually in residential. And I did only residential, probably 7-8 years, and I kind of flipped over to business brokerage, and I'm a full commercial agent. So I just really wanted to come in this morning and tell you guys what I do. So there's something that's not in your wheelhouse. Obviously, business acquisitions, definitely not, right? You have to have a permit on your license. As much as I love Realty One, I used to be with Dave Senior, actually. I had to leave because you guys can't hold a business broker's permit here. So what I do as a business broker is sell businesses. So you guys, as the realtors, get the first call from your clients. Where's the best dry cleaner? I need an Italian restaurant. I need a plumber. They're all gonna call you guys for everything they need. Just know that you have a friend in the business. Get that, capture that lead. Anything, they're selling their business. We do restaurants, acquisitions, anything, like even restaurants that are going out of business that are closed, I can still sell. So try to capture that lead, but I'm a full commercial agent, so anything that's not in your guys' wheelhouse. I do land, leasing, buildings, retail, anything like that at all. So my commissions work a little bit different than you guys. So you guys are out there doing 6%. My commissions are 12%, 10 if I give them a deal. So my average referral fees to go out are probably somewhere between 10 and 20 grand.
Wow.
Just for a referral fee. At least 6, 7 is pretty average to 10,000. So I just want to let you guys know I'm out there, and if anyone has any questions, I can answer them now. And if you forget my name, everyone kind of knows me. Just go, that one girl that came in at one time, and they'll get you my information. Does anyone have any questions I can answer?
I do.
Yeah.
So your business acquisitions, if someone wanted to purchase a business, obviously they would go through you, but do you use an attorney to kind of finalize everything, or is it all done through you?
It's all done through me. Of course, we always advise for them to have an attorney review, but I have the forms to be able to do everything myself. So I actually will write the asset purchase agreement 100% of the time usually. Yeah, unless it's a big, big deal and they have an attorney. I actually sold Mayweather, the Crystal Palace roller skating rink. That was a fun deal because I grew up in Vegas, so I had my birthday parties there, when I was like 5. So that was kind of cool. But that deal, they had their own attorneys. I just, what I mean? I was just procuring cause. So.
Consummated the deal.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, absolutely.
But
We
did you
always
get to
do
meet him?
discussions. I did not get to meet him. No, I never met him. But anything else, you guys?
No.
No. Okay.
So any business brokerage, give Jennifer a call. If you forget, just reach out to me. I know, I got her number.
Yes, he does. So thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Jennifer.
Thank you.
All right, let's talk about some training coming up. Our latest rev up is right here in the Southwest office. Module 2 is tomorrow, your database, your business, and creating your online presence. Then module 3 is next Wednesday, a sales cycle of effective client communication. And then next Friday, a week from tomorrow, is the residential purchase agreement. All right, food truck. Every Thursday there's a food truck out that way, a ways out that way. It is walking distance. Some of you don't like to drive, walk, but it is walking distance. It's the world's best corn dogs. And how do I know they're the world's best corn dogs?
They say so.
Because it says it right there. That's 11 to 1:30. LDR Board of Directors installation is November 4th. Who's going? Who still wants to go and has not committed yet? We have some, it's $95 a ticket. It's November 4th. It's a formal affair. So let me know. I need to let them know today. So if you want to go. You're going, right?
Oh, yeah.
Of course. All right, blood drive. So on Tuesday, we had a blood drive. We do the blood drive every quarter, and it was 23 is good, right?
That's great.
Yeah, that's pretty close to their limit. So they're real happy to come in here. They got a little bit of mine. Did you donate this?
I could not. My iron level was too low that day.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
First time that's ever happened, so I was very, very surprised.
More red meat.
So,
So yeah, again, have we scheduled the next one yet?
January,
Okay, January.
22nd, yes.
All right, cool. We have a party, we're all about partying around here. So it's our chili cook-off and 70s costume contest. remember. Who won the chili cook-off
I
last
remember.
year? Of course I remember. It was good. So if you guys have a great chili recipe, that's your competition right there.
Oh, I'm bringing it, Paul. I won in Summerlin, first time ever making chili, and you know I'm not a cook, so I'm gonna do it again. I'm going for a two-peat.
Hormel?
No, it was literally called Jesse's Sexy Chili, and somehow it won, I didn't even know.
What's the prize?
What's the prize? I don't know. It's bragging rights, right?
Yes, exactly.
He's had bragging rights for a whole year.
I'll
No,
have
then
it.
we'll have gifts. And then we are getting into the holidays, aren't we? Is that crazy? So we have a brunch and a white elephant gift exchange Thursday, December 8th. Put that on your calendar. Says gifts must be a minimum of 25. I'm guessing that's supposed to be a maximum of 45. I don't know. We'll figure that out. So anyway, put that on your calendar, December 8th. What's that? And we have Summit coming up as well. That's February 4th to 6th, Super Bowl week. There's not anything going on in town here in Las Vegas.
Yeah, we're just gonna have a Super Bowl.
Just a little game that they're bringing into town. So that is the 4th to the 6th. You've seen the emails. We're getting a list together for the discount tickets. The discount is what is it, 5 something? $555, whereas the regular ticket, by Jennifer, is closer to $1,000. So we need to get 50 people on the list. I think we're still short by 10 or 15 or something. So if you're interested, the emails go out on a regular basis. The information is also out in the newsletter that comes out on Fridays. If you have a hot new listing or an open house that you want to promote to the office, get that information to. She normally would be sitting right there, but you would need to get that get to Laura. I think she'll be able to do it. Stephanie's out for a little bit, but she will be back. Refer 3 agents and you get free for a year. So I need help. You know, I can't do it alone. I need you guys' help. So any agents that you guys know out there that you think would be a good fit, and it's important that they be a good fit. Why? Who do you know? Who's the next person that you can think of?
Well, they're here for free, absolutely.
I'll find anyone.
Good. Yeah. It's $1,200.
We'll make a little pit stop at Key Realty. It's good. We should.
All right, let's talk about some stats here that Emily provides for us. Our current, this is a couple of days of current active listings, 5,350. Of those, 4,059 are single family residences. Sold 2,140 in the past 30 days. Look at this. Remember when this number was down to 0.7? 0.7. It has been creeping up. What does 2.5 months inventory say to you?
Seller's market still.
It's what?
I'm still seeing a seller's market.
Still a seller's market. Yeah, absolutely. Still seeing multiple offers out there?
Yeah.
Yeah. So 2.5 is still low. You know, it still says that we're in a seller's market. It may not seem that way to you guys because sales are off. You know, 2,140. Let's look just about a month or so ago. It was 22. So sales are coming down. It wasn't that long ago that that number was in the 3,000s. So sales are coming down. It was 2.3 months just a month ago. So as Paul said, we're still in a seller's market. Our job is just to go out there and look for motivated sellers. And that's the key. We need to find those sellers that are motivated, that want and more importantly need to sell right now. Whether it's a relocation or you know, they're just busting out of their house because we just need to find those sellers. It's still a seller's market. So you know, our job is to educate you guys so that you guys can go out and educate your buyers and sellers. So we put this information, it'll be out in our social media, it'll be out in the newsletter. So you can just grab it or just grab the stats itself, but there's your stats for the week. Charity, what's going on in the lending business?
Okay, I actually have stuff to share today.
Does that mean you normally don't?
So, good morning, I'm Sherry. First I want to share a success story. Paul and I closed a deal just a couple weeks ago. Wrote the offer on the 9th. No, the 11th. It was on the 9th, but Monday was the 11th. And we closed it in 18 days. Buyer ended up using the FHA's buyer's choice and only came in with, I think, about $3,000. He did come in a little bit more, a little bit less than $3,000.
But he got money back at the closing.
Yeah, because he put earnest money and stuff on that, so he ended up getting money back. Now, in this particular case, this gentleman did have money, just so you guys can note this for your buyers. He just had it in cash at home. And we all know that escrow does not like $25,000 in dollar bills to come in to count. So we were able to use that FHA buyer's choice for 5%. He can pay it off whenever he likes. So it kind of, we were able to go without sourcing the funds and got him closed quickly. So again, 18-day closing. Thank you, Paul, for trusting me. And then I actually, Epic has a holiday gift for our buyers. Epic is currently offering a 1-year buy down of 1 point paid for by us, the lender. So the seller does not have to contribute, agents don't have to contribute, and the buyer doesn't have to pay for it. So in being that, I purposely did not look at rates today, but I guess I better. Yesterday we were, for the first time since the early 2000s, our actual average rate, it was nowhere in the 7s. It was legit. Oh, and today it even got worse. It's 8.03. This is the national average, guys. Like, so when you're buyers who don't want to buy because they think the market's going to crash, 8.03. So if this is the average with credit unions and banks, most of your lenders are probably quoting 8.25, 8.5. Like, just to be honest with you. So we are legitimately full on into the 8. So this buy down for 1 year is a huge deal. So once they can refinance, do all of that. So I'm gonna leave these flyers. Unfortunately, the PDF doesn't have my phone number because the marketing girl just copies it for each loan officer. So it just has my information, but you guys have my phone number. If not, I'm right there, it's right here, take a screenshot. But yes, please advertise this with your things. If you need a JPEG of it, let me know. I cannot co-brand these because it's not our normal marketing. They're not in Surefire yet, but it's, if you want to just share it onto your page, it will have all the contacts below. And then just real quick, loan amounts went up early for 2024, so we are able to close conventional conforming single family homes up to $750,000. On the loan amount, that's good though. I mean, we were at what, 720 something, and now we're 750. I know. It doesn't seem like we're ever really doing that much. So that's it. So we have lots of Christmas presents for you early, 1 year buy down, lender paid, higher conforming limits, and that FHA buyer's choice. Any questions, anything going on? Oh, and just a little plug, in the Green Valley office, I'm doing a reverse mortgage class today because the gentleman there is on paternity leave. So it's at noon and I am having pizza. So if you guys want to swing by and learn about reverse mortgages. So
Cool.
that's it.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Charity.
Thank you.
Remember, reach out to Charity for all your lending needs, even if you just have questions. She's a great resource for us. Felicia or Jocelyn, you have anything for me today?
Yeah, really quick, we do.
Okay.
Always, yep. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Training today.
Yeah, do you have Justin's training? No, it's okay. So today's Justin's training is going to be at 1. It's going to be on YouTube channels. So it's going to be all about making your YouTube channel, getting leads and stuff like that. So that'll be a good one. So today at 1 p.m. at University.
You guys all know that we always broadcast it here in the room, right?
Everybody knows that? Okay. You don't have to register if you know you're gonna be here in the room, but if you can register, we still like that list so we can communicate back to you and send you the video automatically that's recorded. If you go to Rock University, easy to register. Just click on today's training at 1. It'll send you the Zoom link if you're gonna be remote. But if you're gonna be here, you don't necessarily need to register, but we'd like for you guys to register. Wanted to remind you guys, I'm bringing back Tech Thursdays every first Thursday of the month, right after the sales meeting. We're gonna be here in this room, going over all the things that we used to go over when we did the Zooms back. Who remembers that Tech Thursday that we used to do back in kind of COVID days? I'm gonna bring it back. It's all about the tools on the back end, Rock and ROG tools. It'll be here Thursdays right after the sales meeting for about an hour. So bring your laptops, and if you know anybody on a team, or if you know anybody that could benefit from learning how to set up their CRM, their website, or learning any of the back end tools, show up here first Thursday of the month. Okay. Lastly, Laura Moran and Brad, 2 awesome escrow officers, are here in the room. If you guys have questions, or if you need to write someone into your deals this week, we would greatly appreciate it. And we'll definitely like to earn your business. Thank you so much, you guys.
Thank you. YouTube, a lot of agents are doing a lot of business as a result of using YouTube, so that's probably a good class to be at. All right, so buyer brokerage agreements, and not just buyer brokerage agreements, but your buyer presentation. Who here does actually do a buyer presentation? Get your buyer in the office and do a presentation. It is very important. And I'll tell you why, and I'm going to be discussing this a lot over the coming months, is the lawsuit. Who knows, when I say the lawsuit, who knows what the hell I'm talking about? Yeah, a bunch of you do. It's a big class action lawsuit. I think it's called Moral versus NAR and several large companies. And it's going on as we speak right now. The trial started, I believe, on either Monday or Tuesday. So the big question is, what does that mean for us? And I'm just real brief. Basically what the whole lawsuit is it's class action. So it's a bunch of sellers saying, why the hell am I paying the buyer's agent's commission? Why should I have paid? So that's what the lawsuit is all about. And, if I break out my crystal ball, this is one of the things that's already happened as a result of and there's more than just the one lawsuit, there's 2 or 3 of them. But here's one of the things that's already happened as a result is the commission offered in the MLS, now agents can put 0. Is that a big deal?
Yeah.
Is it? They could put $1 before. So is it really a big deal? Yeah. So, but what I see is that the buyers will end up having to pay the buyers' agents' commissions. I see that happening. And the reason why I'm talking about that is because that's the reason why your buyer presentation, if you're not currently doing a buyer presentation, why you need to do a buyer presentation, because you need to sell your value to your buyer. And you need to be able to list your buyer just like we list homes right now, right? So, and you do that via a buyer brokerage agreement. So, with that being said, I'm going to bring Linda up, who does a lot of buyer presentations and has for many years. And we're going to be doing a role play, and I'm going to be the buyer.
And there's going to be some condensed parts because my buyer presentation take about an hour. So I'm not going to get into a lot of detail, but just cover up the main things. The main thing is bringing value, why I want my buyer to work with me. So.
Who gets buyer brokerage agreements signed? A bunch of you. So I'm really happy to hear that. I never really got them signed in the past, and I got burned a couple of
Yes.
times. I got burned bad. Come on up, Linda. And then it's funny, when I moved to Utah in 2013, and my sister, I got her into real estate, and of course, you know, in her schooling, she learned, gotta get the buyer brokerage agreement, gotta get the buyer. And I'm like, no, sis, we don't need that. And she was adamant. And so we did. We, over the 2+ years that her and I worked together as partners, we probably did between 75 and 100 buyer presentations, and every single one of them, we got the buyer brokerage agreement signed with the exception of one. So yeah, it's if you have a good presentation, it's not difficult to get it signed. All right.
Okay.
Sometimes I can't keep my mouth shut, can I?
Call me.
No, go.
No, you gotta call me.
Oh, yeah.
You gotta call me.
Oh, we really did rehearse.
Yes, we
Oh,
did.
really? You did? Oh,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Mark's the buyer, of course, he's gonna call me.
Ring, ring.
Hi, this is Linda.
Hey, Linda, this is Mark. You were referred to me by a friend of mine. I'm looking to buy a house.
Great, are you working with an agent currently?
No, not currently working with an agent.
Wonderful, and will you be paying cash or will you be financing?
Oh, I'll definitely be getting a loan. I don't have that kind of money.
Have you met with the lender yet?
No, I haven't. You're my first call.
Okay, that's okay. What we're gonna do is we're gonna come into my office. We're going to go over the home buying process, market conditions, your wants and needs, and my services. Do you have a down payment?
I do. I have like $15,000 to $20,000
Perfect.
in my savings.
Okay, so do you wanna meet tomorrow?
Sure, tomorrow's good.
10 o'clock. I'll see you at my office and here, I'll text you my contact info.
All right.
Beautiful, thank you.
Wow.
Hey, Mark.
Hi.
Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you as
Thank
well.
you for coming in.
Wait, we're in the office.
Yeah, you're gonna do that.
We're in the office, right?
Oh, that's awesome.
Okay, great. So as I mentioned on the phone, we're gonna go over the home buying process, market conditions, your wants and needs, and my services. So exciting times ahead.
Absolutely.
Okay, one of the
You're my
most
first home.
wonderful, it's amazing. I work with a lot of first-time home buyers, they're my favorites, so you will be in good hands. Okay, so I asked if you met with the lender. That is the most critical step in the home buying process if you're not paying cash. Not only are you gonna determine your budget, your house payment, how much money you need to close, but when we prepare an offer and we submit it to the listing agent, we're going to submit a pre-approval letter. So that will let the seller know that you are prepared, you are serious, and you're ready to go. So you mentioned you haven't worked with anybody, so I have a lender here that you could contact.
Charity bond, huh?
Yes, please check with your financial institution also, compare and shop. And then when you decide who you're going to go with, let me know so that.
Is this Epic Lending a reputable company?
Yes, it is. Where's Charity? Charity's not even here. Charity, you blew it. But you want to shop around. Once you establish that relationship, I would like to know who that lender is so that when we structure an offer, we could be prepared to have the appropriate pre-approval letter.
Fair enough.
So now you're meeting with me, that's the next important step. We're gonna go out and view properties. Once we decide you like a property and we put an offer in, we will be submitting our purchase agreement. Now you can see, this is a big document, it's 11 pages. Even though it has Realty One on it, this purchase agreement is used by all agents. It's very self-explanatory, easy. I want you to know that I will be with you every step of the way to ensure that the purchase agreement is followed through accordingly, okay? So that's the purchase agreement. Once the time comes, we'll go over it in detail, but right now, I just wanna let you know that it does exist, okay? Then you're gonna have your due diligence period, it's 7 to 10 days, depending on the property, you know. That's where you are going to do everything you need to do to ensure that that's the house that you want to buy. You'll get inspections done, you drive the neighborhood, you check out schools if that's important to you. That's your due diligence.
So I don't have any inspectors, so I don't know if any
I
of you.
could give you 3 names and then you could shop around on your own and you could go from there. Near the closing time, title will call you to come in and sign your documents and let you know how much money you'll need to bring to the table. You'll wire your funds. Remember, no deal is done until it records, so do not shop for new cars, do not buy new furniture for your brand new house. You know, it's, the lender's gonna look at your financial picture and you just need to maintain that because before they fund the transaction, they're going to look to see if you're still in the same box that you were in before. And then once it funds, then legal transfer of title occurs. So one of the things in our purchase agreement that's addressed is your earnest money deposit. And I have a sheet here that talks about earnest money deposit, and you can read it at your leisure, but basically, you're going to open escrow with a deposit. Escrow and title, there's an escrow company and a title. Title company is an insurance company, and I'm getting into a lot of details, but it explains what an escrow company does. They perfect the transaction. They collect the monies, they do make the appointments for signings, they do the prorations, and then at the end of the deal, they send the document to be recorded.
How much is the earnest money?
It depends on the property. It's buyer's choice, but in the MLS, it indicates an amount. We could gauge that amount if you feel it's too much, but if you want to put in a strong offer, sometimes we agree to the amount. So it's negotiable, basically. And then title company is the company that issues the title insurance. They're the ones that issues a preliminary title report. They're going to look at the taxes. There's going to see if there's any judgments or liens, if there's CC&Rs. And this is important because no house could be transferred if it doesn't have marketable title.
Okay.
So once again, I know this is overwhelming, but I, as your agent, will be with you every step of the way. It's a very complex, this is a legal binding contract, so I would work in your best interest to make sure that everything is done correctly.
Okay.
So that's the home buying process. Do you have any questions on that?
Not yet.
Okay, yeah, you will during, I guarantee you, you're gonna have questions during the transaction. But once again, as your agent, I will be here for you. So market conditions, we just went over the market conditions. Right now, as of August 16th, there was 5,350 listings. In reality, for our valley being so big, that's not a whole lot. However, there's still homes under contract and being sold. We have about 2.5 months of supply, so homes are still being bought, homes are still being sold. So we just need to gauge, you know, what neighborhood you want to be in and see what the activity is there.
Okay.
Okay. And then secondly, or most importantly, let's talk about what you want. Is there anybody else that's going to be on this transaction with you?
No, just
Okay.
me.
And then I got your phone number and I got your email. How many bedrooms would you like?
4 bedrooms.
4, okay, do 4 more baths.
And 2.
2 or more. Garage.
Absolutely. Three plus one.
Okay. And do you have an idea of how big house you want to live in? What's
Well, more importantly is the garage, but the house is 2,000 square
okay,
feet.
2,000 plus. Okay. Is a pool important?
Not important.
Okay. Okay. HOA. Do you want to live in a community that has an HOA?
I'm all right with that.
Okay. And then number of stories? 1 story, 2 story?
Single story.
Age of
These
home?
old knees have a hard time going up and down stairs.
Age of home?
Newer within the last 10 years.
10 years or younger, okay. And do you want to live in a gated area? Gated community, does that matter?
I can go either way.
Either, okay. And what area do you want me to concentrate on? We have Northwest.
I like that she has this. I really do. That's awesome.
What area would you like to work in? Northwest, southwest, the Henderson, King
I would like
Valley?
to be in the northwest.
Northwest, okay. And then, to narrow it down, how far south do you want me to go?
You know, as far south as maybe Charleston.
Charleston, okay, and then how far further east, Decatur,
Yeah, no, not here.
or, okay? How far do you want me to, Jones,
Durango.
Durango, thank you. Okay, so this is good, so then I can concentrate
I
on
have
that
a company
area.
to fix that, just saying.
And then important features, are schools important? Do you want to be in a master plan community?
No, not important, either
Okay.
one of those.
Okay. And then because you have not met with a lender, we really don't know your price range yet, but with you having about $15,000, let's say minimum 3% you need to put down, I'm thinking high threes, maybe
Yeah, I could
fours.
probably come up with more money.
Okay.
I would like to be in the $400,000 to $500,000 range,
Perfect.
as long as I qualify,
And then ideally, when do you want to move in?
by the end of the year.
End of year. Okay. So you're not pre-approved yet, and you don't have a lender yet, and you're not paying cash. But once again, we're going to line you up with the lender. We're going to get you going on that, and then we'll be able to start your home search from there.
Buyer needs sheet as well.
Yeah. This is my buyer needs worksheet. I look legit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now we're gonna talk about my services. As you could see from just what I presented with the purchase agreement, it's very important that you have an agent that's going to work in your best interest to ensure that that contract is perfected to the end. I've been in the real estate business since 2004. I've lived in Vegas for over 40 years. Yeah, go Vegas. I served on our grievance committee.
How about those aces,
Yes,
by the way?
exactly. I've served on our grievance committee from 2013 to 2016, and that's where we hear potential cases if there's a complaint against an agent against a public, the public. We determined whether there was a violation of our code of ethics.
Okay.
So, and then I got promoted, now I serve on our professional standards committee since 2016.
Congratulations.
Thank you, so this business is important to me and I follow everything by the rules, so I want you to know you're gonna be in good hands. And then once again, I also work in your best interest. My practice is that I represent only one client at a time, and I will work with you and your goals and your, transaction throughout the transaction. So one of the forms that we have is
And reviews on the other side.
Yeah, sorry, and then, I have Zillow reviews on the back from some of my clients. You could go to the website, there's more of them there, so just so that you know that, my clients are pleased with the way I work. Okay, one of the forms that's necessary, it's dictated by the Nevada Real Estate Division. All sellers and buyers have to sign this transaction. It's called Duties Owed by a Nevada Real Estate Licensee. And basically what it says, licensee's duties owed to all parties. That means other agents, other clients, you specifically. Not deal with any party to a real estate transaction in a manner which is deceitful, fraudulent, or dishonest. Exercise reasonable skill and care with respect to all parties in the real estate transaction. Disclose to each party to the real estate transaction as soon as practicable any material and relevant facts, data, or information which licensee knows with reasonable skill and care and diligence. So you as my buyer, if we go to a listing, of course, I'm not gonna know that house because I'm not the listing agent. But if I see a stain on the wall or on the ceiling, I'm going to say, look at that. So, as your agent, I'm not going to know the facts about the property. Okay, and that's where we're going to have your inspections and we'll, determine the condition of it from there. Each source from which licensees will receive compensation. We'll address that in a bit. Licensee's duties owed to a client. You are going to be my client. exercise reasonable skill and care to carry out the terms of the brokerage agreement and the licensee's duties in the brokerage agreement or property management agreement. Not disclose except to licensee's broker confidential information relating to a client for 1 year. So you mentioned you were referred to me by our mutual friend.
John.
John. If John calls me and says, hey Linda, I heard that Mark's in the contract. How much did they pay for it and where did he buy it? I'm gonna say, John, you're gonna have to ask Mark. It's none of his business. I work with a lot of family members, and family members call me all the time. Hey Linda, what's going on with Pam's transaction? It's like, none of your business, you know, because they're family members. So just be assured that your transaction will remain confidential. Okay? Seek a sale, purchase option, rental. In this situation, we're going to try to find a house for you to purchase. Present all offers, that's for the listing agent. Disclose to the client material facts of which the licensee has knowledge regarding the real estate transaction. So this, once again, is duties owed. It's not a contract, but it's my duties to you. So if you could just sign there, and then initial here that I may not represent both parties at the same time. Okay? Now this document formalizes our relationship. It formalizes that I am your agent and you are my client. We are going to work together. Okay, so it says, buyer's obligation. Buyer agrees to work exclusively with broker and not with any other broker. Buyer agrees to furnish broker with all relevant data, records, documents. So if I say, I need your pre-approval letter, you're going to send it to me. Buyer agrees to be available to examine the property and responding. So we're just gonna make time with each other. I know you're busy, but if I find a house and I feel there's a sense of urgency to see it, we're gonna make time, okay?
Fair enough.
Buyer agrees to act in good faith so that you know I'm your agent, you're my client. You're going to work in good faith. New homes and lot sales. This is important. A lot of new homes, if you go to a new home site by yourself and you sign up, you're going to go into the transaction unrepresented because that agent works for the builder. Does these kind of transactions exist? Yes. But the question is, do you want to be unrepresented in a transaction?
Absolutely not.
I had a transaction where my client was ready to close on the house. We went to look, and from the street, you could see the air conditioning unit, and all the conduits and wires and everything was facing the street. But the house next door, it was all in the back. So I said to the builder, this is installed wrong, you need to change it. They said, oh, no, we don't. I said, my client's not gonna sign until it's changed. The next day, they brought the crane out. If you went in unrepresented, do you think that would have happened? No. So it's best to have me with you, to go with you. Not only during the contract process, but during the walkthrough, I'm going to be an extra set of eyes to check, and I've sold many homes that I know what to look for, okay? Buyer agrees to the full extent allowable under Nevada law that broker shall be deemed to be procuring cause of the transaction. So now, broker representation. My broker and me, we hold a current valid real estate license. I agree to work with you diligently to locate real property and acceptable to you. Buyers, I agree to negotiate on your behalf in your best interest. So I'm going to always look out for you in the transaction. Broker's compensation. Broker's compensation shall be paid at the time as a condition of closing as follows. Buyer agrees to pay broker. I opted number 1, but I put an asterisk there, and then I put in additional terms. Buyer understands that listing brokerage pays buyer agent commission as reflected in the MLS. So it could vary, but in essence, you're not paying for my commission. It's going to be from the listing agent. Now, time out. Go on.
Yeah. So that's where we are currently, right? So currently, probably 95% of the time, maybe even more, the seller is paying the buyer's agent's commission. That could change, and even still, there's still buyers, maybe that are buying a FSBO or wherever, that the buyer is paying the commission. So just keep in mind that this is where we are right now, but this probably will change.
And then this section is some agents, and they have the right to do it, they will only work for a certain percentage. So any difference from the MLS to what they quote work for, they could put that percentage, they could
They'll have
address
to
it.
come up with the difference
Exactly.
to compensate
Yeah.
the difference of the
Exactly,
commission.
so there's,
Buyer.
yes, so I don't ever make commissions an issue. My goal is to get a client, provide service, and them ultimately becoming a source of new clients and referral business, repeat business. So I don't ever make commissions an issue.
So here's a couple of other things. So she made a point on this to basically highlight or let it brokerage agreement.
Duties owed, it already
It's in the
addresses it.
duties, it says brokerage agreement. I might have said when I got to this, I said, remember how this says brokerage agreement on here?
Right.
Well, this is the brokerage
This is the
agreement
brokerage
that we're
agreement.
talking about.
Exactly.
So it ties both of those together.
Together.
Exactly. And then in addition to the compensation, buyer agrees to pay broker, and I put 2 asterisks, as and for the flat fee portions broker's total compensation. So what we have here is an escalating scale. So if you're looking for 400 to 500, my brokerage, there's a transaction fee of 600 and then a compliance fee of 200. That 200 is for record storage fee. By law, every broker has to store the transaction records for 5 years. So it would be $800, and that's part of closing costs. That's going to be taken care of at close of escrow. And then,
So I'm paying that?
yes, you are. Yes, it's part of your closing costs. Really, it's negotiable, but, you know, if and I use that as a tool. If the seller comes back and says, oh, we're not going to pay for home warranty, I'll say, listen, you know what, you buy the home warranty, I'll take care of the transaction fee. So I always present it first, but I know that it could be negotiable towards the end. And then, just to make this short, I read everything to the client. Do you have any questions?
No, I do not.
Okay, great. So, we're gonna go ahead and sign here, and then I will, have my broker sign
I
it.
almost signed on the brokers.
I'll have my broker sign it, and then I will, email you copies for your files. So as a recap, I'm going to put the escrow information, I'm going to put the home buying process information. I've got a little folder here for you. I've got my brochure, so you can read about me at your leisure. But just as a recap, Linda's tips if you're buying. Financing, meet with a reputable lender with pre-approval. You'll know your budget and down payment. Maintain your financial status. Don't buy a car, furniture, or any big ticket items on credit. Do not have your credit pooled. Do not charge up your credit cards or apply for new cards. Do stay at your job. Changing or quitting your job may jeopardize your loan. Don't make large deposits or withdrawals. These will raise red flags with the lender. And be prepared to put your earnest money down. Okay? And then I've got my calendar for you, my card, and this will be your folder. Do you have any questions?
That's good. That's really good.
Do you have any questions?
I don't have any questions, but I have some comments if I could.
Yes,
You
please.
know me. So one part of my bio presentation was always when we're talking about looking at homes. I always would say, you know, it's not my homes, not even my listings. I'm not emotionally attached or connected to these homes. So when we're walking through these homes, I want you to be brutally honest with me. Tell me what you like, of course, but tell me what you don't like.
Yeah.
And in addition to that is, and this is, a lot of agents have a hard time asking the closing question. So this is how I did this, is every time we see a home, after we walk out of the home, I'm going to ask you, is this a home you would like to write an offer on? Every single time. And that way, it's really easy to ask that question. And even if it's a total dumping, you know that it's a home that they disliked or hated, you could say, I think I already know the answer to this question, but is this a home that you would like to write? Ask that question every single time, and it's really easy to ask the question.
And then I always say, what do you think? What do you think of the home? That way, I'm not injecting my opinions into it, or I could say, you know what, I'll point out some nice features, but I want them to make a decision. And I always, when I go on my appointments, I have my info sheet and theirs, and then I say, okay, let's take notes. Because if you see 10 homes, you're not gonna know. So then I'll say, how do you rank this? 1 star, 2 star, 3 star. And I'll have them rank it, and then I'll put that in my notes. So that's of course after we need to look at homes and stuff. But this is my initial presentation with clients, and I work with a lot of first-time home buyers. The reason why I want to meet with them first, I never go to a house. Okay, let's go look at, hey Linda, I got your name from so-and-so, could you meet me at so-and-so house? I really like it. Well, let's meet at my office first. Number one, I want to show that I'm bringing value to them by showing them the purchase agreement, by showing them the steps, by showing how complex the deal could be, because they think, buying a house may be real simple. And then, of course, having them sign the buyer's broker agreement.
We need to sell value. Our value to them. I'm going to say it over and over, it's going to get more and more important that when we're working with buyers that we sell, we prove our value so that we can get paid the way we want to get paid. And the other thing that I'm going to mention is regarding the lender, always let them know, I'm going to have the lender give you a call. When is the best day and time? Don't rely on them because they'll forget. They'll forget. So have the lender call them. That way and then you can follow up with the lender. Hey, did you call so-and-so? And what were the results?
The only thing I do, I love everything on the lender part is I tell them the sooner you get all the documents together, the sooner you're doing it.
So my whole presentation is a transitional to the very end. What is my goal? My goal is to get them to sign the buyer broker agreement. So instead of meeting them and saying, well, this is how I work, you need to sign this, I present it in a way that I'm bringing value to them, and at the end of my meeting, they're going to sign it willfully. It's all a transitional thing, home buying process, market condition, wants and needs, my services. It's all part of my services.
And it was smooth. It was just went right through it, right to getting the signature on the buyer broker.
Exactly.
I love your presentation. I work with a lot of buyers from a long distance, and I find out their wants and needs. I ask them a lot of the questions first because they already tell me what they're buying, what their budget is, and they're coming into town for a very short period of time. So when they come to town, they may just have 2 or 3 hours. They want to go look at the homes that I've selected based on my conversation with them. So it's kind of hard to do the buyer brokerage thing from a distance, and I'm not going to really have that time period.
But the conversations that you've had with them are kind of that buyer presentation.
Okay, yes, okay.
So make sure you ask all of those qualifying questions, and more importantly is, value. What is your value? Because, Damon?
I was just gonna say Zoom, if you guys aren't using Zoom for out of state, for sure. No brainer, that's what we teach our team is, get on a Zoom call if they're out of town. We still wanna try to get face to face with them, so hey, when can we get on a Zoom call? And I can do the map, I can share my screen, I can do the search with you right there, very, very important,
So it's like a live live
Yeah.
appointment
Yeah.
without it being,
You got it.
you know,
Question.
the same.
Yeah, I just have a question. So if you put in the buyer brokerage agreement like 3% of the selling price, and then the seller offers the 3%, so then you go through the transaction, you say, well, the seller's gonna offer the 3%, so you don't have to pay, you know, it won't come from your
Yeah,
pocket.
because it
it'll come
even
from-
says there that we can accept the money from the seller.
So
as-
is there another form you have to fill out saying they're not paying for it? It's just
You just put in the remarks.
that?
Additional terms.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Doing additional terms, so.
Additional terms
So
in the residential.
another thing why this isn't so, the duties owed and the buyer broker's agreement. If there's ever a case brought up at professional standards and the Nevada Real Estate Division sees that your duties owed is signed simultaneous with documents
They want
or
us to-
after documents,
Yeah, we want
that's what's gonna raise red flags, because the duties owed is not a contract, but we need to present that duties owed right off the bat.
That's always the first document that
You
gets
have to
signed. So
sign.
see how I signed that duties owed prior to
To
even
even
getting
going
to it.
out to looking at houses, because I established what my duties are, which is dictated by the Code of Ethics, that I've established it and my client now knows. If it's done afterwards, you could get in trouble with the division. The buyer brokerage agreement, sometimes there's disputes, who was procuring cause, or if the buyer went to, you know, an open house, or, you know, this establishes, you know, that we have the agreement, we have the relationship. So if there was a case, I would say the majority of the time, the professional standards will honor the buyer broker.
They always ask that question, was there a buyer brokerage sign?
Exactly.
Always.
Always, always. Damon, you wanna add?
Yeah, I'm good, yeah, no,
Yeah.
very good, great information, so, for sure.
Thank you.
The only thing I would add is that, guys, and I know Mark, with this lawsuit, we have to be careful we don't get too crazy off the beaten path here. You know, the reality of it is, there still could be a co-op. You guys might start seeing a change in co-op. I mean, the premise of these lawsuits was that the sellers paid too much to the buyer broker, you know, not that they paid, but that they paid too much given a seller's market. So, you know, we all keep our fingers crossed that, you know, that co-ops don't necessarily go away. We don't have the answer to that, but you might start seeing a reduction. The number one thing NAR did, and Mark already stated, is said, hey, you know, you could have offered a cent on the co-op, right? It didn't have to be a 3%, 2%. That's always been. They now went with the direction of there doesn't have to be any co-op. But the reality of it, it's a marketing vehicle. So
Exactly.
as long as the seller needs you to market their home to a procuring, ready, willing, able buyer to procure ready, then there's most likely going to be some kind of co-op, I would hope. And listen, markets are cyclical. We might be in a buyer's market, and things are going to. Bottom line is, you know, there's going to have to be compensation to bring a ready, willing, able buyer to the table for the seller. So we don't, you know, real unsure right now what it's all going to look like, but possible change in co-op. Maybe have to now use that buyer brokerage agreement to collect some
Money,
or
yeah.
half,
Yeah,
or
exactly.
that commission.
When that
So
time
you might get
comes.
1% from
Get from some from
from
the
the
seller,
listener,
some from the
right.
buyer.
Right.
You might want to get
exactly.
1% or 2% from the buyer,
Right.
so just be, you know, pay attention. That's why, you know, we have amazing brokers that put on these kinds of sessions and amazing agents that help set you guys up, so.
And I think the key is also letting your seller know, you're gonna be paying the buyer's agent because they're going to work their hardest to get your house sold. They're going to be working too to see the end result.
Right.
The only thing I would say to that is I would not say that.
No?
So, no.
Why?
Seller's not paying the buyer agent.
Buyer broker,
The listing agent is.
Yeah.
Hey guys, this is the full commission I charge.
Okay.
Right, I'm gonna use these dollars to market your home.
Okay, I
Right,
see
I'm gonna
what
collect 2% for myself, 3% for myself, and I'm going to go offer whatever percent to procure ready will. Just like I'm gonna pay to have a yard sign put in your yard, right? And I'm gonna send out postcards. That's
Okay.
all my marketing. That's all
That
part of
makes
this
sense.
commission I'm gonna offer to other agents, buyer, brokerage, you know, to bring a ready, willing, able buyer. That's important. That's why they
Yes.
removed
That
that
part.
buyer co-op from our listing agreement.
Okay.
Because it's the listing agent's cost. we're just
And-
charging the seller the
Right,
full
they're gonna
commission.
dictate how they use their commission to
Correct.
market your product,
You
to
got
market
it.
your house.
You got it. Here's the total
Thank you.
commission. This is what I'm gonna do with that money, okay?
So
This
the
is gonna go
delivery
up
is
in
very
line.
crucial in that
And
seller.
that was already, so one of the lawsuits was,
Absolutely.
we can't say my services are free
Right,
to you
right.
anymore.
You never say that.
We can't say that.
Right.
We used to say it,
Yeah,
yeah,
Yeah.
you can't say that. Thank you, that's duly noted.
all right, it's time.
Thanks.
Okay, any questions?
Thank you all very much. Remember, no matter how you slice it, greatness is a choice.